Anyway, time to share it around.
Anyway. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Beep beep boop beep boop 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 beep beep boop. Try to get copyright blocked in the first minute with my great singing.
Oh my god, I can't believe Corey Graves did the fucking MGF. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making a thing he didn't exist.
That's CM Punk's line from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah.
That's where it originates.
Yeah. If it's not any sort of indication, then there's a weird. That's just very strange, especially that one, because that was a thing like 2 years ago.
Well, from what I've seen from Sean Rossap, he says that Punk and many people in the company will need to mend fences for that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I imagine they would. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's fucking CM Punk.
And like nothing has been put to paper.
No, I imagine it wouldn't. No.
Yeah. But I'm sure by the time we get to Survivor Series, we'll know whether or not it's happening. If there's going to be a time to do it, it's that one.
Yep. We are now just about nearly a month away from Survival Series in Chicago.
You said Survival Series.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have only woken up just an hour ago, so I'm going to slur my words even more than I usually do.
Oh, you're going to say slurs, are you?
Well, that's what you say. You slur your words.
Yeah, you're going to say racial slurs.
No. I'm gonna slur my words, as in fumble them.
Wow. Racist. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to our predictions for WWE Fastlane 2023. Last wrestling pay-per-view we did was Wrestle Dream. We did a review on that, and I defended my title by half a point. It came damn close. But I'm still the champion and have been since SummerSlam, I believe. Now we're going to talk about a much, much smaller show with many less matches. But a lot more adverts, I imagine. A lot more commercials and sponsors. We're talking about Fastlane from the all-conquering Fed under the TKO umbrella and Vince's cane and Vince's stash. The first pay-per-view by WWE to air without Dolph Ziggler under contract since 2005.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Hell. Yeah, it is.
The last time WWE aired a pay-per-view without Dolph Ziggler on contract, I'm pretty sure Eddie Guerrero was on it. That's a fucking long time. That's 18 years ago.
Wow.
That's very weird. So yeah, Fastlane. This is much like Payback. This definitely is not a major pay-per-view. It's definitely a B show, if you get what I mean. It only has 5 matches announced for it. Maybe they'll have a surprise 6th match. But yeah, this is definitely a very tight card, it seems. But, you know, they'll find a way to extend it beyond 3 hours. You know what they're like with all their bloody adverts and their Bud Lights and their C4 energy drinks and fucking Toast Crunch. God. And, you know, interviews with Triple H talking about...
There'll be a lot of those.
Interviews with Triple H talking about how Cody didn't want to win a title in a secondary promotion.
I've just gone on Twitter and fucking hell, JD McDonough absolutely sold the shit out of the Crossroads on SmackDown last night. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that is some sell. I'm going to post it in the Discord so you can watch that later.
I will.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow,
The amount of spin he gets on it, bloody hell.
exposing that I don't watch SmackDown every week. What are you doing? Fake fan. I'm too busy watching Daniel Garcia and Jeff Hardy have a dance off on Rampage.
Yeah.
And Ortiz cutting a shoot promo on Mike Santana. Anyway, we're here to talk about the company that's about to do a Saudi show next month.
Yeah, well, yay. Lovely.
I haven't watched the Saudi show since the first one.
Oh, you didn't even watch Night of Champions?
No, I didn't. The only one I watched was Greatest Royal Rumble, and I didn't even finish it. I got like halfway through John Cena vs Triple H. I'm like, nah, fuck this, and I only watched the actual Royal Rumble match, and I skipped the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was all worth it for Titus World Slide. Fucking Roderick Strong was in that match. Anyway, Fastlane 2023 is a very interesting show. It's coming off a writers and sort of talent overall strike in Hollywood that seems to be coming to an end, or it has come to an end. I'm not 100% sure on the details. So we've had a very interesting last sort of month of shows with interesting names popping up here and there that you usually wouldn't see around, like Mr. Dwayne and Mr. quote unquote greatest of all time, as WWE would want you to believe. And yeah, now we have a show with 5 matches on it that we have to predict for. And because there's only 5 matches, it seems like this might be a really good chance for you to win the championship back, because it's quite high stakes. So every prediction has to count for something.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be very interesting, because it's always been around at least 6, I think, on the pay-per-view for the last year. So 5 feels yeah, it's not a lot of matches.
But I will say, the one thing that WWE seem to usually do these days with their pay-per-views is they have at least one promo on them.
Yeah, definitely.
Sports entertainment. So in terms of anticipation for this show, all of the matches on this card have potential to be really good. But I think overall, none of them feel massive. At least I don't think they feel massive.
No. I don't think so either. In terms of build, definitely. Like, it's not that strong. In terms of individuals, sure, there's a lot of really big names on it. Obviously, you've got Cena, Cody. You know, you've got LA Knight, who's making his way up, and you got main event Jey Uso. But in terms of build, it's not the strongest show.
Well, I feel like part of that is because Raw and SmackDown have been really sort of, apart from the surprises, they've been pretty lukewarm as of late for the most part.
They've been middling, very middling.
The WWE
sort of month or so.
The WWE branded show that's getting all the buzz at the moment is NXT.
Yeah, because it's because of Dynamite being on Tuesday.
Yeah, Dynamite being on Tuesday, and also Becky Lynch happened to also win the NXT Women's Championship as well. They're going to have John Cena, Paul Heyman, Becky Lynch. I think they're going to have, there was one other person I can't remember, and then it's also teased they're going to have The Undertaker as well. Absolutely insane. I feel like I'm more hyped for that. Like, I'm more hyped for Tuesday than I am for this pay-per-view. Because, like, Dynamite and NXT going head-to-head in this scenario is actually a really interesting thing to me. Whereas Fastlane is I'm sure this will be an entertaining show, but I'm not seeing much here in terms of stakes, in terms of like sort of urgency.
Yeah.
It's a very, this feels like
There's only 2 title matches. Oh no, 3, sorry. Because one of them, it just feels so weird for it to be a title match.
yeah, it is a definitely a B show. Yeah, but I would be surprised if any of these matches were bad.
No, definitely not.
My one big request, I don't know if they'll do it. They probably won't because they don't want to spend too much on these shows because they're stingy with their profits. But my one big request. Oh, hang on a second. I just had a thought. Do you know why there might only be 5 matches?
Why is that?
What if they have a 6th match where they debut Jade Cargill?
That's true. I thought she is due to be there.
It is possible.
So maybe.
That is possible. Anyway. My big request, it's unlikely to happen, but my big request is please do something with the stage. Because the Payback stage was just the Raw and SmackDown set, and that's super boring. And just not creative. Especially compared to AEW pay-per-views, where they've actually been really good with their sets this year. They've been quite creative. Especially recently. So I hope that they do something with that, but they probably won't. I've never liked the Fastlane concept, and in fact I think this might be the worst use of it because it's not even the road to WrestleMania. It's like
Fastlane, because Fastlane debuted 2015.
Yeah, it's because the reason why it debuted is because they were booked in a building that can't hold the Elimination Chamber from its roof. It's too heavy. And so they had to do Elimination Chamber in the middle of the year in Corpus Christi, Texas, as a WWE Network exclusive. And that's where they had that absolutely abysmal Elimination Chamber match for the IC title where Ryback won. But yeah, what is this? What is this? The Fastlane 2? It doesn't make sense. Why don't they bring back Great Balls of Fire? That was a great name for a show. Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Before we talk about any of the predictions of the matches on the card, do you have any sort of initial going into the show thoughts about it?
I'm not sure what to expect, really, in all honesty. Because the only one match on this card I think is probably literally just going to be the reaction match, where 2 people are very much garnering for reactions, and then you've got a couple of title matches that I think 2 of them are going to stay I think all of them are going to possibly not be that much big factors, and then you've got one. You've got one match with a to be confirmed for maybe a surprise reaction. I don't know. I think I'm not expecting like massive things from this show, in all honesty.
I also think it's going to be weird going from like Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson to this. Like it's a big shift in tone.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the sort of big run of WWE premium live events that kind of hit hard is it kind of stopped with Money in the Bank. That was like the last one of that run, you know? It started at Royal Rumble and it kind of ended at Money in the Bank, and they were all like really good shows.
Yeah. Yes.
And now we're kind of in the weird sort of not high selling part of their calendar until we get to Survivor Series, where it finally actually they do something with the wrestling again. I guess Crown Jewel for them business wise, but in terms of the actual card, they don't usually put that much effort into it. I guess we'll have to see what they do with Crown Jewel this year. Crown Jewel. But in terms of Fastlane, in terms of WWE Fastlane, we begin with the undisputed tag team championship match between the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. So yeah, in terms of the guys that are in the match, this has the potential to be a slapper of a match. Yeah, it's got they all four of these guys in this match are great athletes, and they also are great storytellers in their own right. And I think there's a lot of potential here. I don't know if they're going to do this, but both Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor at points were in the Bullet Club. I don't know if they'll make references to it or not, if that's relevant, but I just would like to point that out. I predict the Judgment Day to retain, because the other half of the bloodline is also on this show in the same building, so I imagine there might be interference.
Yeah. I am also going with the Judgment Day. I feel like it'd be very strange to put the belts on Rhodes and NJ at this point. But it'd be a good kind of thing where they give them like a month-long run just because, and then drop them like at Survivor Series.
He did it again.
Yeah, no, I noticed that time. And then put it back on Judgment Day. I can imagine they doing that sort of thing, but I don't think they are going to do that.
I just think that
See it. Also Judgment Day.
Cody Rhodes has been doing nothing since SummerSlam.
He has. He's done nothing for like 2 months.
And unfortunately, I think it's because he was supposed to be in a feud with Bray Wyatt. I think that is what they had planned.
Possibly, yeah.
And they haven't come up with that much for him to do in the meantime.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that he didn't win the belt at Mania.
Yes! Oh my god! Why didn't he win?
Because bad booking.
Imagine how amazing of a position he would be in right now if he was still the champion.
Yeah. You literally could have faced anybody realistically, and it'd be fine because he can make a good feud out of most people on the roster.
Oh, yeah. I don't get it. Just don't get it. And oh god. But yeah, we got this. Cody and Jey vs Judgment Day. I just think Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso becoming tag champs would be such a strange decision.
It would be very strange, but classic WWE.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you weren't around for this, but I remember when John Cena and David Otunga were the tag team champions. During the Nexus. That was very weird days. I also remember, and you will know this, I remember when Braun Strowman and Nicholas were tag team champions.
Yep, I do too. I watched that live.
As did I. That show is fucking strange.
Very strange Mania.
Very weird. It's like it's the subvert your expectations Mania, is what it is. Which is funny because it came like 3 months after The Last Jedi, so it's kind of fitting. It is the Rian Johnson Mania though, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but I would rather watch 34 than Last
I would.
Jedi.
Yeah, that's very true actually. And unlike The Last Jedi, it actually has some good stuff on it.
Yeah, exactly. Half of it is probably good and fun.
Oh, I think that's a bit kind to it. The opening match is really good. The Triple H Stephanie vs Angle and Ronda Rousey match is really good, and John Cena being in the crowd is hilarious. Apart from that, it's a very strange show.
Okay. I enjoy the Nicholas stuff. It was funny. Main event, yes, was shit. Daniel Bryan, McMahon, Owens saying was a bit strange, but great to see Danielson.
Yeah, but the
They
problem with
didn't
that
give
is
the
that
bludgeon. Yeah.
but the problem with that match is that Shane McMahon got most of the time, even
Hmm.
though it was Bryan Danielson's return.
Oh, but also, Alexander and Mustafa Ali had a great match on the pre-show.
Yeah, but we're not counting that, are we? Because they don't get paid for that, do they? Remember when Austin Aries and Neville both left the company because they didn't get paid for their pre-show match?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a lot of bollocks.
Also, Naomi winning the Battle Royal was very funny just because I was listening to the new Legacy Inc. Discord and it was made the joke about it being the Invisible Woman because of their universe mode at the time.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Um,
I often rewatch that.
but no, Jinder winning the US title was a load of bullshit. I hated that.
It was Rusev Show 1.
And also, AJ versus
yeah.
Nakamura was really disappointing as well.
Unfortunately, yeah, it didn't get into its fourth gear, really.
Especially because I had seen the New Japan match 2 years earlier, and the New Japan match is incredible.
Yeah.
The Wrestle Kingdom match they had was just holy shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And of course, the main event of that show is just an utter turd. It's so bad that Brock threw the belt at Vince.
Yep, I remember that clip.
Asshole! Anyway, back to Fastlane. Yeah, so Judgment Day should probably win. I hope they tell a good story with this and it's not just like a TV tag team match. I also think this match has the potential to be massively overbooked because there's Bloodline and Judgment Day storylines going on here. Because on SmackDown, what was it? Paul Heyman made an offer to Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Yep. Right, now we have the LWO, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and To Be Determined against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So out of all the matches on this card, this is probably the hardest one for me to predict because I think it could go either way. I feel like I always have this kind of superstition where whenever there's a surprise person in the match, that team usually wins. And that is the one I've gone with, but I could also see Bobby Lashley and Street Profits winning this as well because they're like newly established. I was a bit torn what to do with this one, but I have gone with the LWO here purely because they have it to be determined on their team.
I gone for Lashley and the Street Profits.
Well, if you're right, it'll only give you half a point because this is the Androzani pick.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just if it wasn't surprise entrant, I would have gone Bobby Lashley and Street Profits, but I just have this. I just can't go against the TBD. The TBD is too strong.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was Carlito, actually, because they need to do something with him. They've signed him since just after Backlash, I think.
Yeah, that's a report.
Who do you think, in terms of predictions, who do you think TBD could be?
I honestly had no idea, and then I wrote a report that it might be Carlito. So I guess that's my guess.
Yeah, it's the one that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't really know who else it would probably be.
Bloody Chavo Guerrero. Savio Vega. Oh my god, what if it was Alberto Del Dipshit?
It literally would never.
No, it wouldn't. Triple H, you fucking bastard, you big nose bitch. I'll never get over that drunk video he did. That was absolutely unhinged. It is my destiny. Yep. All right. So, women wrestling time. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like an episode of Dynamite. There's only one women's match. Funny that.
It's almost as if Rhea Ripley doesn't do anything, and it's really strange that they're not booking her.
I mean, they're booking her in lots of promos. She's a featured character.
Yeah.
Not as a wrestler though. We have Io Sky, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. So this is kind of like the other half of it, because if you consider sort of Payback and Fastlane as like two halves of the same coin in some respects. At the last pay-per-view, we had Raquel versus Rhea, which is like the Raw one, and now this is the SmackDown one. So this is basically the SummerSlam match, but replace Bianca with Io. I don't have much to say about this, to be honest. I predict Io Sky to win. I'm not massively confident on that, but that's just what I've gone with. This is the match I'm just sort of like the most blind on. I don't really know what to make of it.
Yeah, I've also gone for Io Sky. I think it'll be a really good. I think it'll be. There's a potential this could be a really good match. So,
well, all three of them are really good athletes. I know that.
Yeah.
But
and Charlotte on pay-per-views is normally way better than Charlotte on TV. So
that's right. But I just, as characters, I don't really know what this is all about. Is this just three people fighting over a belt? Is that what this feud is?
Seeming so.
Someone in the comments should be like, well, maybe if you watch SmackDown, you'd know. Yeah. Put more effort into women's wrestling feuds, think, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I just don't have much to say. It's
no. The feud. They haven't done anything with Sky since really she won the belt.
I mean, honestly, this is probably
2 months ago.
Out of all the pay-per-views this year from either company, this is probably the one I have the least things to say about going into it.
Yeah, the build has been.
This is very filler. This is a very filler.
Very lackluster.
Yeah.
Very lackluster.
Mm-hmm. Like, it goes to show the difference in sort of business structure. Because if AEW had a card like this, they get slaughtered and told, what are you doing? This is so below your standards. But because WWE has kind of set a precedent of what B pay-per-views are, they can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
Although I think that's just a general bias online, isn't it? The WWE get let off the hook a lot of the time. Yeah,
for sure.
Anyway, let's move on to the match that I actually probably have the most to say about. Well, at least not all positive, but at least it's something that has been somewhat of a breath of fresh air. We have a tag team match of John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline, which is Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. I predict the crowd will be hot for this. I predict that Michael Cole will be insufferable on commentary talking about the greatest of all time. Because that always makes me want to pull my hair out. Because he's not. But yeah, we have movie star who has gone through the writer's strike and needs to find work because he's so poor and out of so I can't even say it with a straight face. I was like trying to say like John Cena's been so downtrodden and poor and doesn't have any work, so he's come back to the Fed to get some cheap dollars. But yeah, with John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline, I would be very, very surprised if the Bloodline won this. I think it's kind of a given that Cena and Knight are going to win just because the nature of what they're trying to get over in the storyline. I could be wrong about that. If someone is going to get pinned on the babyface team, it's going to be Cena, because I think pinning LA Knight right now would be the worst thing you could possibly do, because you're trying to maintain his momentum, because he's, the number one merch seller in the company right now. But yeah, I have predicted Cena and LA Knight to win this. In terms of and it's also my Genesis pick. I've gone for this to be my double.
Yeah.
In terms of the story, this is very much like a featured attraction match.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems very.
I'm
very
sure
much
it'll
how
be
that's
it'll be a fun bit of sports entertainment. Let's say that.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
But I think I have to say, the Bloodline without Roman Reigns is a very strange thing.
It's not booked as well.
No.
Consistently.
The attention to detail is a lot less. And I just don't really care about Jimmy Uso anymore. His character has just gone so south since SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And Solo Sikoa without Roman Reigns, it's not the same. I'm interested to see.
So, yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do with the Bloodline when Roman Reigns is back, but when he's not there, it just seems like it's spinning its wheels a lot. So yeah, what's your prediction?
I've gone for Cena and LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my Androzani pick.
Ooh. Oh wow. That means if I get it right, I get 2. If I get it wrong, I lose 2. Because I've picked it as my Genesis pick as well. So it's like a double-edged sword. Oh boy, high stakes. So if the Bloodline win, I lose 2 points. That's massive.
Yep, very big. Very
Jesus
big.
Christ. Oh, we could have a new champion after tomorrow.
Fucking hope so.
Yeah. What are you sort of hoping for out of this tag team match?
Honestly, I don't know, because on paper, I don't think this is going to be a classic. But I think there could be this match can really put LA Knight into the upper echelons of like stardom. It really can, in terms of if they book it in a way that makes him looks really good along with Cena and not make him look out of place. And so far they haven't, and so far they have done that. He's looked very much a part of that same sort of caliber. So, and I think the important thing would be to give Knight the pin win. I think, pinning probably Jimmy, I'd say. But yeah, I think this match is to put Knight over. Really, I think. Yeah. At least that's how I see it. Really.
It's to give him the Cena rub, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, what a just weird show to predict. This is so. I don't know. There's a lot missing from this, isn't there? This does not feel like the hot product that WWE was a few months ago. At all. I do wonder how much involvement Vince is having in booking now.
I wonder.
I do wonder if it's increased since the merger. This
Yeah,
is their
this is
their first pay-per-view under the TKO banner as well.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we should just talk about the main event then, right?
I guess we shall.
Like this is gonna be this is gonna be like our shortest live stream of all time.
Yeah, because fucking what else is there to talk about?
It's so hollow.
It's fine. I've got more live stream to do later anyway. So
That's right. Yeah, you do.
yeah.
It's the rematch from the last pay-per-view. It's Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. I hope that they... Oh, God. So the last man standing stipulation is a really risky one.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it right. I think the Texas Death Match, I believe it is, in AEW is a last man standing stipulation. I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. If it's not that, it's something else. I can't remember which one it is, but I think it might be
I don't
that.
think it's that. I think Texas Deathmatch is just a regular deathmatch.
Which one is the one I'm thinking of?
I have no idea. I don't think because Lance Archer and Hangman Page had one, and he won by pinfall.
Right. There's a different stipulation they do that is equivalent to last man standing. I know that. I've seen it.
Let me Google and see if it comes up with anything.
I know I've seen it. I can't be going crazy here. I know I've seen it.
Is there anything here? There's always something. AEW Last Man Standing. It's got to be something. Yeah, just carry on while I try and see if there is anything.
Right.
Yeah, I can't really find anything that says Last Man Standing AEW.
Like, I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it. I just can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so yeah, they have a last man standing match.
Wait, unless I have got that wrong. Oh no, your reason you might think that is because Hangman won by count out in the death match.
Oh,
not by pinfall. That might be what you're thinking of, because I don't think they've had a last man standing.
So that comes across like it functions like a last man standing match.
But realistically, it was by count out.
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a WWE last man standing match, which historically they've been very, very mixed.
Very hit and miss.
Yeah. I remember there was one they did in 2007 with Randy Orton and Triple H that was actually really good. But a lot of the ones, especially the ones they do on TV, have been like really shit. Because they just
don't book them like pay-per-view ones. They don't tend to.
I'll tell you what, the worst last man standing matches are the ones from the video games. Those suck. They're so
very
bad to play.
Very boring.
So yeah, it's because they have to just count and count and count, and that's the problem. So I am interested to see how they do this. I think if they book it right, this could have potential to surprise. If they book it wrong, this could potential to really fail and not meet its...
Yeah, dog the water, yeah.
Yeah. And I hope it's not like that. I expect, better from people, wrestlers of this caliber. I know that Nakamura is not in his prime anymore, but I still expect better from wrestlers of this caliber than a shit last man standing match. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I've predicted Seth Rollins to win. I don't believe. I have less belief in Nakamura winning now than I even did at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But like the feud in terms of the promos have been good, but there's not enough momentum.
No.
And it just feels like they're just sort of like doing another match and then they're going to move on to what's next.
Yeah. I've also go for Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
If they now suddenly put the belt on Nakamura, I'm going to be very annoyed.
Yep. Yeah, it'll
And
feel
this
strange.
is also, this is also my Genesis pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Pretty certain about this one then.
So we differ on any other match? I don't think we do.
Well, what was it? The Street Profits match is
Oh
the
no,
only
yeah,
one.
Street Profits. Oh yeah, LWO Street Profits. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the only one. And that's only for half point if I get it right.
that's correct. If I get the John Cena LA Knight match wrong, I lose 2 points.
Yeah.
If you get the LWO match wrong, you lose 1 point.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's a chance you could win the title. But it's going to be close anyway because 5 matches is not a lot. Whereas on the last show we had 14 matches and we got to half a point's difference. I don't know how that happened. That's actually insane. But yeah. Jesus Christ, 41-minute live stream. What are we doing? WWE need to really step up their game. I mean, if CM Punk comes to WWE, then surely they have to step up their game, right? Like they just...
Yeah, I imagine they should need to, yeah.
The guy carried like one of the worst eras of the company. You know, back in the early 2010s. He was the best thing about the early 2010s, which was fucking dog's bollocks, man. Dude, do you remember fucking John Cena pouring ketchup all over Michael Cole?
Wasn't that barbecue sauce? JR's barbecue sauce.
Oh, you know, you're right, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. And now he's back on this show and they're calling him the greatest of all time, apparently.
Yep, the GOAT. Even though he's not even in kayfabe, he's not even the best.
Yeah.
He's actually tied with most world titles, and he's not a Grand Slam champion.
But you're speaking objectively as opposed to like what is the best. You know, when you look at every like you just
no.
You
oh yeah, even that's what I'm saying. Even within kayfabe, it's not true.
Yeah, but they're saying like he's better than Ric Flair. He's better than the Undertaker. He's better than Shawn Michaels. He's better than bloody who else is great? He's better than Steve Austin.
The Rock.
Yeah, better than The Rock. Better than Randy Savage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Better than Daniel Bryan. Better than CM Punk. I mean, WWE superstar, I suppose you could argue, but if we're talking... I guess that is what they mean, isn't it? They mean he's the GOAT as a WWE superstar, right?
Yeah.
I still wouldn't agree with that anyway, but I think that's what they're supposed to be. Like, they don't mean he's the best wrestler. They mean he's the best WWE superstar, right? Because if they were to say he's the best wrestler, I'd be like, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
They think he's better than Kurt Angle, better than Brock, better than Styles. Better than Terry Funk, better than... God, there's so many names. So many names I could go through. Oh, this company. Anyway, anything else you want to add before we clock out in record time?
I hope this show's good. It can be good if these matches, they give these matches all time. This could be like a sleeper hit show. It really could.
Yeah, it could. I also think this could be the worst pay-per-view of the year so far. I think it's possible. I think there's a very good chance. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, to be fair, we've still got Crown Jewel, which we don't know what the state of that's going to be. Hard to say. What would we say has been the worst pay-per-view so far? Probably, what, SummerSlam?
Yeah.
I can't.
I think so.
Yeah. Some people would say Double or Nothing, but I would disagree with that. I think that gets a lot of hate because it gets a few things critically wrong, but it also gets a lot right as well. Like, that Fatal 4-Way match is one of the best matches all year. And it has a whole bunch of other stuff in that show that's actually really well done. But I personally would rate that show above SummerSlam. I would. Even though SummerSlam also had some good stuff on it as well, but that show had fucking Shayna and Ronda in an MMA rules match, and I don't want to watch that again. That was abysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people would say WrestleMania Night 2 just because of how it ended.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll never forget how fucking strange that was, seeing the end of that show, being like, what the fuck? What on earth?
What's on it?
Yeah. Anyway, I bid you adieu, a good night, and a goodbye.